And you talk about that kind of, we talked about kind of off-field, you know, Gats pitching it right, but and you just talked about the effort that the All Blacks put into it. Reminds you of, you know, Paul O'Connell kind of said, he may not be the most talented man, but he's going to be world-class for effort, you know, getting back, hitting the rocks, getting off his feet. What are you seeing in the body language of the Lions players on the pitch? Are they play? I mean, much was made of Maritoji when he kind of celebrated in the 72nd minute that they'd kind of won that scrum penalty, and people were saying, well, that's wrong. But for me, I felt that's actually, they're showing a real passion and a togetherness pretty early on.
I think it's a part of the game which I think we need to be careful of sometimes, because how do you portray that? Some people will portray that celebration as we've won the game when we haven't. You know, that I'm going to say it because I feel it, and if I feel it, I've got to say it. I struggle sometimes when you get a wing three-quarter or an outside centre running into a scrummage, doing high fives and patting people on the back. I do struggle a bit with that. I get camaraderie and I get we're together and we're all one team. I'm all for that. But I tell you what, that for me would irritate me a little bit.
That's come into the modern game, isn't it? Running across and slapping the backside.
I might be old and people can knock me for it, but I talk about together. I'm all for that. And the other little one which worries me, and I think I've seen it more with the Lions, purely based on the way that we're refereed, and particularly in the Premiership now with video, is how many times players are going to the referee about talking, or you know, there's a bit of a high tackle, and it's like people throwing their hands.
Or put in the old.
You know, we don't need that. A referee is in charge.
Not setting a good example to the kids. Watching it,
but you can kind of see the difference between. You know, the players there, you can see they're not quite so. There's been lots of things which have happened in games, which I'm sure. I don't mean that because we need to make the game safer. And I don't mean it's a negative to our rules. We need to make our game safer. The video referee, the high tackle. I'm 110% for that. We just need to just have a little bit of a look at how that and the influence that is having on player. I can't remember who the high tackle was. It was on one of the...
Was it George Norton who went
yes, it
high
was. It was George Norton.
That's right. People kind of, and he showed sense. I thought the referee.
The referee just said, and I thought, do you know what? Well done.
Don't pander to kind of, No, I thought it was good.
So that I've noticed, which is I think as a game, I'm not sure whose responsibility that is, but I think we just need to look at that. But I think on the whole, do we sit here today surprised at the results of the Lions?
We think they're pretty close, I'd say. There's not much in it, and I hire West won the try on 75 minutes.
Someone yesterday, are we that surprised? Are you that surprised? And they're, well, not really. A bit disappointed. I said, well, I think we are a bit because we could actually be sat here and 4-4.
Yeah, really,
And, you know, perhaps really should be, but you can't do should have, could have, would have.
No.
You know, but there's no real. We're not sat here 4 games in and going. Do you see the body language of the lads when they were playing? They don't look like they've got a clue what they're doing. Warren Gatland looks like he's crying. Rob Howley looks like he's going
to take a long walk.
You know, we're not saying that, are we?
No. It's been. You
know, so I'm still upbeat. I'm still positive, and I think if we can, this weekend, the game coming up is a huge game. If we can get something out of that game, brilliant. Do we sit here knowing the test team right now? We're going to discuss it.
You've seen the side for the Maoris. You know, the big. You know, is Owen Farrell absolutely fundamental to the Lions winning a test, or is too much made of it? You know, they're saying 7 to 10 days with this quad strain. What are your kind of thoughts about the selection for Saturday, and how much that tells us about what that side's going to be for the first test?
I'm a huge Sexton fan. I think he's fantastic. I think he's a great rugby player. In fact, I think he's probably a better rugby brain, perhaps in the sense of an attacking force and not understanding a game, but being able to set things up. I think if it was a 10, then brilliant. If I was playing as a front row forward, I'd probably want Owen Farrell playing because I think he's unbelievable. So, but does Farrell and Sexton work together? Is that the most powerful unit?
They were going to be a 10 and 12, didn't they? Where they're going to give it 20 minutes to see if they could work, which is a big
I don't know. If you said to me, if it was over a period of 12, 18 months, a couple of seasons together developing, I'd be going, I think that's a fantastic idea. That's a Wilkinson, Mike Catt scenario.
With George Ford and Owen Farrell, they played together as young kids.
It's kind of, I can see that. Is it right for Lions? I don't know.
No.
I've been really impressed with Ben Teo. I think he's really stood up.
He's got the Jamie Roberts role, isn't he, really, for 2017?
Jonathan Davis I've always been a huge fan of. I think he'll certainly be in. Back three is going to be a tough one. Stuart Hogg was
he's just you're lucky he's got two more should have two more tours.
It's a
travesty for him.
Travesty for him and for the Lions, for the game. So who's you going to pick up fullback?
Anthony Watson. What did you think of that? Was that again massive gamble?
I think he's pleasantly surprised me.
Yeah.
I think he's pleasantly surprised me. I think as an attacking force, I suspect they'll probably go for the tried and tested in Lee Halfpenny.
Yeah.
And depending on the Farrow situation, goal kicker.
Yeah.
But saying that, Faz has missed a couple.
Well, he has, though,
which is uncharacteristic.
Came on cold essentially, didn't he? Without that kick.
Wings will be North. One other who's really stuck their hand up. Not so sure. Maybe a Liam Williams.
Yeah.
They've been desperately trying to play him there.
Yeah.
Gives another option, kicking game as well, play fullback as well if they want to swap things around. But then, the impact of forwards with bench.
Yeah.
Everyone keep, Mako Vunipola, immense.
His engine for 20 stone.
Work rate, I saw him over the autumn's up with Six Nations and I just wanted to hug the bloke.
Yeah.
Just because.
How does he get through all that work?
It's just incredible what he does. But then my head straight away. So if we were coaching a team, we put Mako on, who's going to go like a bull,
like a train,
whatever it is. Yeah. We need to change the game.
Yeah.
Who are we going to bring on?
Yeah.
So then you start with them. Actually, who do you start with?
Yeah.
You've got your best front row forward, but you don't start with him.
Yeah.
We're losing by 10 points.
Yeah.
With 25 to go.
Yeah.
Bring him on.
Yeah.
Energise.
Perfect opportunity to say Eddie's finisher there, isn't it?
Really. Front row. I always thought I thought for me the starting front row would be the Irish front row.
Yeah.
I just think that combination, having played together, know each other inside out. I think Tag Furlong's been, had a brilliant season.
Yeah.
Rory Best, my God, heart on your sleeve.
Yeah.
He's beaten the All Blacks.
Yeah.
Captain Ireland. Yeah. He's a bloody
he's
good.
He's got a point to prove in 2013.
He's just he's an immense human being as well. He's a good guy.
A good guy.
So you think, right, and then you look at what you've got to replace that. We talk about line-out throws and bits and pieces and scrums are gone, but as a combinations of three, that's probably been one of the best, highest performing front rows in the Northern Hemisphere in the last 12 to 18 months. Yeah. No disrespect to Dan Cole, who I think's
well, they've been rock solid, haven't they?
It's been really, really good. So that for me, and then if you're looking at bench and you go, right, we need to change things up and make a real impact here. Yeah. You're thinking, right, Macca, Jamie George.
Would you have Alan Wynne on the bench, or do you have Marrow to make the big difference? Because I think everyone seems to say that George Cruz is a shoe-in for his kind of line-out proficiency.
I think for me, the first choice is George Cruz.
Yeah.
And I know that hurts, when you think about Joe Launchbury, he's not even on.
Another one that's
incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible.
But then who do you go with it? I personally would pick Alan Wynne.
Yeah.
Because of his experience and him as a player, but just him being around and using
the cool head.
And I don't want to just pick him just because he's an older guy and he's been around a lot, but just because he's a bloody good rugby player. He's been around. He's a common influence, but he can play as well. Yeah. Going back to our point again, we need to change things up. Look at Morrow. Look at potentially him coming on and doing something, which is great. I don't think playing him in the Six Nations as a six has done him any good, and he wouldn't be. Well, yeah, he just wouldn't be as useful to the Lions. If you start thinking, I'm going to play him at six, I don't know. It just doesn't work. But so for me, it has to be Cruz and Alan Wynne in the second row. Yeah. Back row. Toby Faletau. Well, I think Toby Faletau at number 8.
Yeah,
100%.
It's interesting to see Zinzan Booker's kind of backtrack fairly quickly on saying that he had no
but the thing is, I think he's one of those characters that doesn't go out and it's not all blood, sweat and tears and crying and headbutting people, is it?
Yeah.
He just gets on. Gets on.
Quick feet, good at the back space of the scrum.
Got skill, got a cool head, can tackle, but he just goes about his work in just a lovely way.
Yeah.
I think Peter Mahoney's, for me, has been brilliant.
Yeah.
But then Sean O'Brien, for me, has been outstanding. We haven't even talked about the tour captain yet,
no,
Sam Warburton.
No.
CJ Stander. It's
run through walls. It's good decision, but it's about back row balance, isn't it?
It is. I think I'd almost be tempted to go with Sean O'Brien at 7. You know.
Yeah. There's rumours in the All Black camp that he is one person they really respect for his power. I wouldn't say fear. They'd never say they fear anybody, but his power is just kind of getting him on the field.
I don't know how you go about doing that without. I'm not saying Sam Warburton's a bad player. I think Sam's a terrific rugby player.
Yeah, just a little bit kind of shy of kind of.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think, but then, so let's go back to our point again about the, I don't like the phrase. I like to call them just the bench, the finishers. Do you bring on Warburton, or do you start with Warburton and bring on O'Brien?
O'Brien to kind of start busting.
I know what I'd be tempted to do. And that's start with what. No, it seems silly because we've almost got, for me, 3 or 4 of our best players actually starting on the bench.
Yeah. And in your experiences, Gat's got a kind of innate kind of timing for when he unloads his bench. Is that one of his? I mean, think about Eddie kind of pulling people off after 30 minutes in Australia last year, and he said, "What's the point of 16 points down? You just got to get the guys on."
I think a lot of that stuff now is led by the sports science guys, because they're all hooked up and heart rates and you know how much they've been exposed in the sense of heart rates and their recovery rates.
How much they go.
So a lot of that is there, but the influence. The one thing I think Warren, goodness me, he's been around for forever. Yeah. Rob Howley.
Yeah.
Been around forever. Graham Roundtree's been around forever. Steve Borthwick's new on the block, but been around a long time. Andy Farrell's been around
trust in the kind of management team.
They will, they will influence and they will have an impact and an input in those decisions. But as we all know with Gats, he will make his own man.
Yeah.
Look at 2013
with Brian Driscoll, he said he did not want to, field as something he didn't believe in, because he said he'd learnt before with Ireland, I think when he'd been swayed by the public, he said, if I'm going to make a mistake, it's got to be my mistake rather than being told. And he was, and that was a very high emotions running around that before that third test in Australia.
But as we all know, emotions and right decisions, and the one thing with Gats particularly, he will make a decision which he feels is right for the Lions. It's not about him or not about just making a call to make a call. And ultimately, let's not forget, he's a New Zealander. No one will want to beat New Zealand more than Warren Gatland.
So can they do it? Can they amaze the rugby world and beat the All Blacks?
That answer for me is actually quite easy. Can they, and are they capable? Yes. Can they perform on the day for long enough periods in a game of rugby to win a Test series? I'm not so sure. But can they?
They've got it in.
I believe the skill set and the ability of this Lions squad and the Lions players is as good as the New Zealand All Blacks. Yeah. Can they perform and can they get out on that rugby field with all those bits and pieces that are going on, preparation, teams coming together, I just worry that it won't just about
have to be perfect to do it.